I thought my life with Rania was the definition of stability. 18 years of marriage, 2 grown children, a home we had built together, and countless shared memories. Through it all, I believed we had built something unbreakable. I worked long hours to provide for our family, often sacrificing sleep and personal time to ensure our children had everything they needed. And Rania? She always seemed happy, supportive, and loving, or so I thought. The first hint that something was wrong came late one night. I had been working overtime, and when I returned home, I noticed a package on the kitchen counter. It was unmarked but heavy. Curious, I opened it. Inside were medical forms, ultrasounds, and fertility documents. My heart stopped as I read through them. Rania had secretly become a surrogate. But not for some charitable reason, not for some anonymous couple in need. She was carrying a baby for her sister. And she had hidden it from me the entire time. I felt my chest tighten. 18 years of marriage, and she had been keeping a secret like this? I flipped through the forms again, seeing my name nowhere on them. The child she carried legally, medically, and emotionally was not mine. The next day, I confronted her. "Rania, what is this?" I held up the papers, my voice shaking with a mix of anger and disbelief. She looked calm, almost smug. "It's not a big deal. It's for my sister. She can't carry a child," I volunteered. "You should be proud." Proud? My mind reeled. 18 years, and the woman I loved had orchestrated something monumental in secret. A secret that involved our bodies, our home, and our lives. She thought this was just a generous act, a minor deviation that didn't require my consent. I couldn't believe it. Not just the secret itself, but the audacity. The betrayal was not physical, not romantic, but it was a violation of trust so deep it shook the foundation of everything I thought I knew about our marriage. I stayed calm, at least on the surface. I couldn't let her see the storm raging inside me. I needed proof. I needed leverage. I began documenting everything. Her medical visits, conversations with her sister, emails, even subtle indications that she had altered her diet and schedule to accommodate the pregnancy without telling me. Weeks passed. Rania continued her routine, seemingly oblivious to my investigation. She confided in friends, laughing about how excited her sister was, never realizing I knew everything. Then, I decided it was time. I confronted her with all the evidence I had collected. I laid it on the table, literally and figuratively. The medical documents, the messages, the witness statements from our neighbors who had noticed unusual appointments and deliveries to the house, all of it. Her face went pale. She tried to justify it, claiming she didn't want to stress me, that she thought I would disapprove, that it was a kind and selfless act. But her justifications fell flat. My trust had been violated, and this was no minor mistake. It was deception on a scale that affected our marriage, our privacy, and our life. I told her calmly, "But with a cold edge, you didn't just help your sister. You broke our marriage in the process. You decided for both of us, and that's unforgivable." Then I planned my revenge, not violent, not cruel, but strategic. First, I informed her sister about the consequences. I explained that if she continued to involve Rania without my knowledge, I would ensure legal oversight. I contacted a family lawyer to discuss the implications of using Rania as a surrogate without spousal consent. The sister was horrified, realizing she had underestimated the situation. Next, I made a public record of the surrogacy agreements. The moment anyone tried to conceal or misrepresent the arrangement, it could be traced. Rania realized she no longer controlled the narrative. The child, initially meant to be a private family matter, was now subject to oversight, accountability, and transparency. But the most satisfying moment came quietly, a week later. Rania had placed a small box on the dining table, thinking it would appease me, a gesture of reconciliation, perhaps. I opened it slowly, revealing a pair of identical bracelets, symbols of her selfless act. I smiled faintly, then returned them to the box, closing it gently. "Selfless," I said. "Maybe for her, not for us." I filed for legal separation the following month. I demanded clear boundaries, custody of our children, and oversight regarding any further involvement in the surrogate pregnancy. She tried to plead, but the evidence was damning. The court recognized that secrecy of this scale in a marriage constituted a profound breach of trust. Months later, I watched as Rania realized the full extent of her actions. Her sister, once grateful, now maintained a formal distance. Friends who had admired Rania's selflessness questioned her ethics and transparency. She had intended to create joy, but she ended up with scrutiny, legal oversight, and public shame. I, on the other hand, rebuilt my life. I focused on my children, ensuring their emotional well-being remained intact. I repaired friendships damaged by the stress of the secret, and I reminded myself every day that trust, once broken, could never fully be restored, but boundaries could be enforced, dignity reclaimed, and justice ensured. Rania thought her secret would pass unnoticed. She thought a kind act justified deception, but in the end, the truth emerged, and she found herself powerless. I had taken control of the narrative, ensured accountability, and restored balance to a life she had nearly destroyed. And as I look back now, I know the most important lesson: generosity cannot excuse betrayal. Trust is sacred, and when it is violated, even in the name of love, it demands consequences.